Hey, Tim Shurr here. I'm about ready to head out to the airport again, but I just want to let you know that if you have ever considered being a one belief away hypnotist, it is an awesome career. I love my job. I love my clients. It is so amazing that every day I get to talk to people who are really struggling, who are really having a tough time. And I know for a fact that after our session, they're going to feel happier. They're going to feel more confident. They're going to feel more self love. They're going to have that stress melt away. They're just going to feel on cloud nine. And to know that you're going to be able to do that. See, when I was growing up and I was watching people who seem to be experts at what they do, I always thought, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I knew how to do that. I wish I had the confidence to do this. I wish I had the certainty that other people have. I would see people come on TV and someone would say that, oh, I have this intense phobia of dolls. I'm afraid of dolls. And then they would go backstage with this expert, and then they would come back out, this person who was afraid of dolls, and they'd have an armful of dolls, right? And the talk show host would be like, that's incredible. How'd you help them overcome their fear? Because before you show them a doll, or they'd even imagine one, and they'd freak out, right? And now they're holding dolls, and literally within like 10, 15 minutes. And I wanted to know, how do you do that? Because I had so much fear, so much anxiety, so much stress, and I wanted to know, how do you make these breakthroughs that are so amazing? Because I was under the assumption that therapy is hard, that change is hard, that it doesn't really ever happen, that it takes a long time. And I have found all that to be false. It can happen quick, it can happen in a rapid amount of time, and it can happen in a comfortable way, a very empowering way. I kept developing these tools until eventually I wanted to call them something. So I always found that you're just one belief away from having a huge breakthrough. So I call it the one belief away method, and then wrote a book about it with my friend Joe Vitale called One Belief Away. And so you can get that on Amazon if you want it. A little plug for my book. Anyway, the point is that if you want those kinds of skills, if you want those special forces kind of skills where you know when someone calls you up, you're going to be able to help them. Like 99% of the time, it does not matter what they call up for, who they are, what they've been through, how long they've been going through it. My oldest client her name was Tempest. She was 91 years old. She wanted to lose weight. 91 years old. She wanted to lose weight. She wanted to lose 15 pounds. And through our time together, she lost 12 pounds. And everybody thought that was amazing. One of the best compliments I ever got was from a friend of mine, Roger Harris, who was a career firefighter who also got certified in my One Belief Away hypnosis method. And he said that what looks like a miracle to you and me is just another day at the office for Tim and for other OBA practitioners. And that is true. So I'm making this video because I just finished a session before I head to the airport, and it was awesome. Someone who had been struggling for so many years and felt like this was, I hear it all the time, this is my final attempt. This is my last try. I've tried everything else. There isn't anything else. I've done everything else. You're my last hope, right? If this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, well, this is going to work. In fact, a lot of times I ask them, why did you decide to enroll in our coaching programs? And they'll be like, because you were so confident, because you were so certain that it was going to work. Well, of course, as a hypnotherapist, you're supposed to be implanting suggestions into people's minds. You want to suspend disbelief and you want to create more belief, right? In marketing, we call it priming, right? So you are setting people up to believe that something special is going to happen. But the setup isn't what makes it happen. It's just adding to it, right? Getting people to believe something magical is going to happen is what gets them to say yes to the opportunity. Because I know that people, when they call me up, they're at a crossroads. They're either going to take action and they're going to have a life-changing breakthrough, or they're going to hold back for whatever reason, and then they're going to keep going in endless circles. And so I got to get them to say yes any way I can so that I can empower them in the way that I know is possible for them. They don't know it, but I see it all day long for 30 years. And so I know that something special is about to happen for them. And so the people who say yes to themselves and yes to the opportunity are the ones that are having these amazing breakthroughs. Afterwards, they're like, I can't believe I'm so emotional, or that was so incredible. People aren't saying, wow, this was really fun. This was neat. They're not saying that. They're saying, this was amazing. I've never done anything I've never experienced anything like this. And I'm a therapist, right? I have a lot of therapists that are coaches or clients. And in fact, a lot of my OBA students were clients at one time. And, that's how they ended up enrolling in our certification program, because they're like, this is amazing. I'm not getting results like this. I've never had results like this. And my clients, we do a great job, but I know that this could help them make breakthroughs, or I know that this could help them have breakthroughs faster, or I know that this could help them if they get stuck, right? I have a lot of clients that are stuck. So I get them unstuck. And there's two things that are really, really important when you are hired to help someone create a breakthrough. One, you got to know how to help them create the breakthrough in the beginning. And then the second part is you got to know how to help them to get unstuck, or show them how to get themselves unstuck if that ever happens, which occasionally it does. As human beings, we're going to have situations where we feel like we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or people say metaphors like, I was on the path and then I wandered off the path and kind of got lost. And so this gets you back on the path. So when most trainers and coaches that I've observed from just watching webinars and being in the room, if somebody gets stuck, what they do is they shift into trying to motivate them through words, right? You just got to take one action. You just got to believe in yourself. You just got to commit. You just got to decide. You just got to go for it. You just got to do it. You just got to have discipline. And that often is making people feel worse inside, because they're like, yeah, I know that, and I still can't do it. What's wrong with me? So what I have found is that that's not how you do it. What you do is you resolve the unconscious conflict. That means there's 2 competing beliefs in your mind at the same time, and they're fighting one another. So you're fighting yourself, and you can't win when you're fighting yourself. So you got to figure out what the positive intentions are of both behaviors and create a new outcome and a new way of satisfying your subconscious needs, and a new way of upgrading your beliefs that make you go from fighting yourself to getting both parts of your mind wanting the same thing. And when you feel that way, then all of a sudden you're moving now in the same direction. The conflict is gone. And so being able to help people, there's a variety of techniques that I've developed, and the tools that are already out there that I just said, well, that's good. We're going to incorporate this into the process so that you have an awesome set of tools. So you know how to help people to produce results in amazing ways, and then you also know what to do if they get stuck. And that is what builds confidence. The biggest determining factor for sabotaging people, the thing that holds us back more than anything else in the people helping profession, is self-doubt, right? I surveyed thousands of people, and I said, hey, what do you think is the biggest challenge to growing your business, right? Is it not getting enough clients? Is it not knowing how to upsell clients or retain clients? Is it something to do with your sales process? Is it a lack of confidence? And, which is self-doubt, right? And the number one answer was self-doubt, not believing in ourselves, which is why a big part of our certification program is using the tools on you, right? So that you're upgrading your beliefs so that you develop what I call extreme confidence. Because when I was 19 years old and going through school for psychology and getting counseling, the counselor would kick his cowboy boots up on the table and sit back as he began to analyze me, right? Which now makes me just roll my eyes. But back then I didn't know any better. I thought he was cool. I thought maybe I should go buy some cowboy boots. But he told me that he announced to me that I have generalized anxiety disorder. And I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't sound good. So I'm generally anxious. That sounds about right. So how do I get generalized confidence in order, right? Because I don't want to have a disorder. I want to be in order. How do I get extreme confidence? He didn't have an answer for that, right? So I spent the next 30 years finding the answer to that and figured it out. And it's upgrading your beliefs and then having a set of strategies so that it doesn't matter what shows up. What matters is how you show up. So, all right, now I'm starting to get excited again. I'm going to start going into inspiring you. So I'm going to wrap this up. I just was so excited. And if you're excited and you've been searching, whether you're a practitioner already or you want to be, and you're looking for some elite skills, not kindergarten stuff. If you're looking for the best training there is when it comes to behavior modification, when it comes to hypnotherapy, when it comes to peak performance, then the One Belief Away method, my OBA hypnosis method, is amazing. I challenge anybody to produce better or faster results than what I'm doing. Now, there's programs out there that produce equally good results for sure. But a lot of times it's personality driven, and you got to be super talented and skilled at using those tools and practices. With my approach, you don't. You just got to follow the formula. You've just got to use the scripts. You've just got to understand how these particular journeys work, and then you can start taking people through the journeys and getting results immediately. It's very exciting. I love it. I'm so happy that I get to spend my life watching people have amazing breakthroughs. It's so flattering as someone who never felt loved that I get this love all the time now. I get this love all the time now from people thanking me and appreciating me. I get stopped in the grocery store. Hey, I follow you on LinkedIn, or families, have driven to my offices and just so we could do pictures and group hugs, and that is just awesome, right? I love that so much, and now I want to teach others how to have that. So if you're someone that wants that as well, if you need the coaching, reach out. We'll create the breakthrough for you as well. But if you want to be the coach and you're looking for that next level, then reach out or schedule a One Belief Away discovery call, or download our curriculum and check it out. But make sure you give us a call because we've got some really exciting specials coming up. We've got some incentives for becoming an OBA hypnotist in 2025 that aren't in the curriculum. So if you want to learn more, schedule a call and let's figure out how to make your life a sure success. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.